Welcome to Unleash the Awesome with Dave Gambrill. All of us have unique skills, talents, and abilities that aren't being used to their full potential. Our mission is to share the people, tools, apps, and other resources that will help you unleash your awesome on the world.
Yo, what's up? It's Dave. Welcome to another episode of Unleash the Awesome. Today, let's talk about how your passion pushes until your purpose pulls. Passion pushes until the purpose pulls. What the heck do I mean by that? Well, as I see a lot of people starting new projects and getting new things underway, building their side hustle, building their business, whatever it is they're trying to do, right? There's 4 phases of learning, and I talked about that in a previous episode. You might want to go back and listen to it. I think it's called Leveraging the 4 Phases of Learning or something like that. But generally what happens is you get into a scenario where you get all excited about getting started. You want to do your thing. It's exciting. And then you realize that something is frustrating. Something is not going the way you want. Something you have to learn something new. Maybe you have to unlearn something and relearn something or whatever. But you get to a point where you essentially hit a speed bump on the road to progress. And that's where a lot of people quit, frankly, right? That's people starting a new exercise program and they're all excited and they're gung-ho and they go out and they go hard on the first day and they wake up sore on day 2. Okay, so they're not as excited on day 2 when they wake up sore. How do I know? Because I've been there myself. I'm sure you have too, right? And you wake up and you go like, oh gosh, okay. So you're all passionate about it when you got started. You were all excited, right? The passion pushed you into it. Same thing happens with a side hustle, a business, or whatever. You're like, hey, I'm going to build a new funnel online, and you get going, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't get the text box to line up, or I can't get the image to look exactly the way I want, or I can't get the color scheme. Right? So the passion gets you into the game. The passion gets you going. The passion for this thing, whatever it is, gets you going. But if you don't understand the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing, like what is your purpose? Why are you doing this thing? That's why it's so important. I'm sure you've heard of Simon Sinek and his famous TED Talk, Start with Why. The reason why you should start with why is you really got to know what the purpose is, why you're doing this thing, like exactly why. And sometimes data suggests that it's even more powerful if the purpose or the why is something that is outside of you. It is greater than you. It's not just you trying to make more money. It's not just you trying to get a promotion. But what would those things mean for your family, your children, whatever? So a lot of times if you set a goal, if you have a purpose that is bigger than you, you're much more likely to stick to it. So going back to our fitness example, if you just say you want to lose weight, or you want to get healthier, or you want to be able to bench press 300 pounds or something, that's personal stuff, and that's great, and maybe you're passionate about that, and that'll get you started. However, again, if you wake up the next day and you're all sore, then there's a pretty good chance you're going to stop doing it. But if the purpose for you getting fit, if the purpose for you getting healthy is to be able to age gracefully and have functional movement without pain so that you can play with your grandchildren, you can get down on your hands and knees when your grandchildren are born and be able to play with them and be able to get up without assistance or without hurting your back or whatever. If that is the purpose, you're much more likely to do it. And when I used to work in pharmaceutical sales, we saw the science behind this. I saw a lot of the psychology and the science behind it, where people were talking about their getting fit or losing weight or making sure they took their maintenance medication. Maybe they had some disease state where no matter what they did, they still needed to take some medicine. And so we learned through a number of different studies that the adherence rates for whatever it was, their exercise routine, maybe their diet regimen, or maybe it was their medication regimen, the adherence to those things skyrocketed when the purpose or the goal was greater than these people. So if it was like to stop smoking or whatever, a lot of it had to do with, I'll be able to see my grandchildren and play with my grandchildren, or I'll be able to ride my bike around the block with my kids, or I'll be able to go outside and play with my children or whatever, or I will live long enough and not have a heart attack so that I can actually see my grandchildren, whatever the case may be, right? So like that was the purpose. That was stronger. The passion of, look, I know it makes sense mentally or biologically to lose weight or quit smoking or drink less or whatever, that'll get you going. Okay. The passion will push you. That'll get you going. That gives you a little momentum. But you're going to hit a speed bump on the road to progress. You're going to hit a detour. Something is going to happen. Nothing is a straight line from beginning to success, right? There's always something that happens. Oh my gosh, I was eating so well, and all of a sudden my family ordered pizza and there's 2 slices sitting right there and nobody else is in the kitchen to see me eat it. Right? That could be a tough decision. But if your purpose is locked on and you know what that is and you started with why, then your purpose will pull you through whatever that situation is. So if you know the why, it will pull you through. The passion pushed you into it, but when you hit that speed bump on the road to progress, you have to know what the purpose is that will pull you through. So if you're not clear on what that is, for whatever it is you're trying to do, get some clarity around that, especially if it's going to be something you know is going to be difficult for you to follow through on. Spend some time. Go watch Simon Sinek's TED Talk. I'll put the link in the show notes for you so you can see it and get access to it. Go read his book if you want. I mean, his TED Talk is probably the easiest route. It's, 15 minutes or something. Take 15 minutes out of your day to go watch it and understand it. But then don't just watch it, implement it, and do the work necessary on the things that are important to you in your life. Look at those and say, okay, what are the goals that I'm setting? And then let me understand what the purpose is. Why am I doing this? I'll give you one more example before we go today. Financial things, people saving for retirement. A lot of times people say, I'm going to save for retirement, and then they never do. And if you can make it automatic, the chance of it happening is even better. So if you just enroll in a 401k or whatever it is you have access to as a business owner, maybe you open up a Roth IRA or something, but if you make the payments to that, the investments to that automatic, that's one thing that will help you, because it has nothing to do with your psychology. It will just happen and you'll forget about it and it'll be great. And 30, 40 years from now, you'll have all this money. But what people have found and studies have shown is that in a very similar situation, when people are making decisions about how much money they should save for retirement, and they have to make a decision right now, I have to do without $100 right now to go in my account so that when I retire, I will be able to live comfortably, right? If you do the future pacing and you look at what it will be like when you want to retire at whatever that age looks like for you, when you think about, I want to be able to retire at age 60 and I want to have all the money I need to live comfortably, and I want to be able to live in my own house and have healthcare and travel whenever I want, wherever I want to, all these things, fly first class, buy a boat, whatever it is that you want to do. If you understand those things and you can actually close your eyes and see those things in the future, but in the present tense, right? So like they have already happened to you. So you see yourself as an older person that you're like, oh, here I am riding in my boat and here's the wind blowing through my hair and I can feel it in the sun on my skin. Like when you understand that and you get in touch with that purpose, with that thing, then when something else happens on your financial journey, you are much more likely to follow through and make sure that you invest for that thing because you can see it into the future. And like I said at the beginning of this, the passion for having a financial future that's successful for your retirement, the passion pushes you into it. But the purpose is what's going to pull you through when times are tough and you want to stop making contributions to that retirement account. You're going to say, you know what? I'd rather do without Netflix this month or Disney Plus, or maybe I can stop going to Starbucks for a couple weeks and I'm not going to cancel that investment in my retirement account or whatever the case may be, because I understand the purpose, and deep down I feel that, I understand that, it's become part of me, and the purpose will pull you through any of those difficult times you find yourself in, okay? So go do the homework, right? It's all great to get excited about something, but make sure you're investing the time, do the homework that it takes, that's necessary for you to understand the purpose, why you're doing that thing, and make sure that becomes front and center for you, because you're much more likely to pull through on whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And that will most definitely help you unleash your awesome. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Unleash the Awesome. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please share us on your favorite social media platforms using #UnleashAwesome.